Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me. And today we're going to be talking about sodas, probiotic sodas for summer. And probiotic drinks are so good in the summertime. They're good anytime. But I think they're more important in the summertime because as you try to cool off, if you have something that's fizzy and delicious, you get all these probiotics from it, plus B vitamins and special compounds that can help you cool off, stay healthy, and is very delicious to have. I absolutely love it. Now, I have two different types of probiotic sodas that I recommend. And each one of these sodas, and they're kefir soda and kombucha, and each one of them has a special probiotic yeast in it called Saccharomyces boulardii. And this is what makes these sodas bubbly. It's in kombucha and it's in our kefir soda starter. It is the compound that eats all the sugars, and most of the sugars are gone by the time you drink this soda. I think in 4 days, we had it tested a couple times in our soda starter, and 85% of the sugars were gone after 4 days. And then after you put it in the fridge and it continues to ferment, 100% of the sugars are gone within another day or two. And that's very similar to what kombucha does. They both do it. They both have the same yeast that's doing this. And that's why the drink is tart tasting and not sweet. Now, I want to tell you about the benefits in both of these sodas. And one of the biggest benefits is the good probiotic yeast. And this probiotic yeast cannot be killed by antibiotics. And it's, like I said, it's Saccharomyces boulardii. And it's an incredible probiotic. And when you make kombucha or kefir soda, you get lots of this powerful probiotic yeast. It is what makes these drinks bubbly. And the good yeast eat the sugars out of the drink and create tons of fizz and probiotics. And S. boulardii is one of the most researched probiotics, has been used worldwide to support gastrointestinal health. And to be effective, this probiotic must survive the passage to the colon. And that means it needs to survive the body temperatures of 98 degrees and be resistant to stomach and bile acids. And then it has to survive the complex and diverse microbial world of the intestinal tract. S. boulardii does this and more, and it's resistant to antibiotics, like I said before. It's resistant to heat and to stomach acids. And it has been used in hospitals to help with acute diarrhea in children and adults, offering support for C. diff, bowel disorders. It works good for AIDS patients, children with autism, inflammatory bowel disease. It's all been used for that, and it does very well. It supports the body in a very powerful way. So if you have to take an antibiotic, it's a powerful probiotic that's resistant to it, so it will help keep you healthy. It's a good thing to have. And it also is very helpful if you have candida overgrowth because it doesn't feed candida at all. It actually does the opposite. So S. boulardii was discovered by a French microbiologist, Henry Boulard, in the late 1920s in Indochina, where he's searching for a new strain of yeast that would withstand heat for making wine. He was a visitor when they had the cholera outbreak, and he noticed that some people who did not get cholera were drinking a special tea. And it was made from the outer skins of tropical fruits called mangosteens and some other fruits, and he would cook them down to make tea. So then he isolated the probiotic strain of yeast in it and named it Saccharomyces boulardii, which probably was after himself. And he found that it had tons of benefits. He did a bunch of research on it, and he found that it had very protective effects for rats who were infected with cholera. And when he himself became a victim of cholera, he found that he could stop the associated diarrhea by drinking a tea that contained that yeast. And the patent for this yeast was brought to Laboratory Biocodex in 1947, which began manufacturing it and began using it on patients who were exhibiting acute diarrhea. And they have done over 53 randomized controlled clinical trials encompassing over 1,000 subjects that investigated the safety and efficiency of S. boulardii. The studies were done on pediatrics and adult patients in which they found they had an 81% effective rate. And his discovery improved gastrointestinal health across the board. And Espellardi became one of the most researched of all probiotic supplements. It is now used to treat C. diff, acute diarrhea, antibiotic-associated diarrhea, parasitic forms of diarrhea, and other gastrointestinal orders. It's very, very good. And it's one of those things that when we were designing our kefir soda starter, and a lot of people do water kefir and love it, and water kefir is good. I just have had a lot of people that had problems with it the longer they made it. And I really wanted to develop a starter that was easier for people and also had Espellardi in it. So that's one of the reasons that we put Espellardi as the probiotic yeast in here, because it's so effective in kombucha, and I wanted it in a soda starter too that would be easy for people and they would get this benefit. Sometimes water kefir has a different type of probiotic yeast that's good, but it's not as good as this one. And this one actually doesn't feed candida. It actually works against it. So I thought that was really important. That's why I am telling everybody about this and encouraging people to drink it. I still like water kefir. I just like this better. It's easier, and it has different probiotics and good yeast in it that I think are some of the best. And I think we need more of them. So, and that's one of the reasons why I was working with Cutting Edge Cultures, who were just great people. And we designed it this way because I wanted people to get more Espellardi. And it's in kombucha too. So if you're getting kombucha, you're getting it too. So either one. But this is a fun way to really do it, to make a soda faster. Because the first time you make a bottle of kefir soda, it takes 4 days. And then after that, you use a portion of that bottle to make another one. And all you do is add juice and water to it, half and half, and you'll have another bottle in a day. And then you can use that bottle to make another one and another one and another one and another. And it does it in less than a day. And even less than a day, the warmer your house is. And it does it fast. So it's super fun. It's super easy. We love it. I love it so much in the summertime. And it is very, very, very bubbly. So let's first of all talk about kombucha, because I absolutely, hands down, love kombucha. I don't love kefir soda starter any more than I love kombucha. I love them both because they both do different things. So I think they're important to have both, but I really love both of them. And when the body is exposed to heat in the summertime, your liver can become very stressed, and kombucha is fabulous for this. Drinking kombucha can help keep you cool and hydrated in the summertime, but it also helps your liver, which is one of your organs that is most vulnerable to excessive heat. Just like a plant can wilt in the heat, our bodies can suffer as well. And kombucha has special compounds that help the liver do its job in detoxifying you and keeping the liver running smoothly. And it does it very, very well. If you keep the heat and inflammation out of your joints, kombucha is great for that. It is packed with glucosamine, which helps prevent joint damage by supporting the preservation in collagen. And it does this by increasing the hyaluronic acid, which is so important for the lubrication of your joints and for your body. Hyaluronic acid is so good for you. They're putting it in all kinds of supplements now. Everybody is understanding the benefits of this. And it's naturally abiding in kombucha. So it's fantastic. And when your joints are better able to move, the collagen isn't worn down as much. And it's a very healing drink for many different parts of the body. So not only does kombucha have the powerful good yeast, Espellardi, but it also has other good bacteria and beneficial yeast and beneficial compounds. And it also has B vitamins, B1, B2, B6, B12, and C10. It has acetic acid, which prevents pathogenic bacteria and fungus. It has amino acids. It has polyphenols, which are antioxidants that are so good for you. I talk a lot about polyphenols on my website. The glucoric acid I talked about before, the hyaluronic acid. It has all those things, so it's so good. It's a great drink for summertime. And I can't highly recommend enough. We always have kombucha all the time in our fridge. I love sometimes to make different kinds in the summer. And one of our favorite things to do is to make kefir ice cream or frozen yogurt and pour kombucha over the top of it and make a float. They're even doing that in some health food stores we have here. It's fabulous. Okay, so let me talk about the kefir soda starter. That, like I told before, it's my exciting new culture, which has Espellardi, which I'm very excited about. But it has a lot of other good bacteria that were specifically picked by us to put in this drink. And one of them was bifidobacteria. It's one of my favorite probiotics, and it's one of your biggest ones. It's one of your most important ones. And we put it in this drink. It's so easy to make, like I said. It eats 85% of the sugars in 4 days. And then after that, it keeps going when you store it in the fridge and you get about down to 100% of the sugar's gone. So it's a great drink. I'm so worried about people drinking regular sodas, and really diet sodas are just absolutely not good for you. And, this is a fabulous replacement. Either one of these is a fabulous replacement. And you'll just get really hooked on it. It will help you. It will help you get rid of those addictive qualities for those other sodas. You won't want them anymore. And we've tested this a couple of times to see what it does. It does really well with coconut water. And you can take like half coconut water and half just regular water. You mix the two. So you take and you split the water in half. So 2 cups of water and 2 cups of juice, coconut water juice, not the milk, but the water. And then you add the culture and you just let it sit. It just is a delicious, really refreshing drink. And that has a lot of electrolytes in it that are very good for you, especially in the summertime. They use coconut water a lot to help people when they're dehydrated, and it's very effective in that. And then when you make it into the soda, it works very, very well because it enhances all of the vitamins and minerals in it. So you can do it with any kind of juice. Just make sure it's 100% juice and doesn't have a lot of additives and preservative. And don't use distilled water to make this. It needs minerals. It needs like spring water, or you can even use well water if you want, but it needs minerals in the water. So that's an important one. We have seen a couple juices that don't work well. There's an orange juice. I think it's Simply Well or something. It doesn't seem to work well with this soda, and I don't know why, but it might be some of the additives in it. So it's better to really, and you can use canned, frozen, or, bottled juices, just as long as they say 100% fruit juice on them. And all you do is take 2 cups of juice, 2 cups of water, and a starter package and put it in a bottle that's a good bottle made for brewing, because this is very explosive. So you want one that has those clamp down lids that you can release the pressure. You let it sit on your counter till it gets super bubbly, and then you put it in your fridge. It's delicious. So good bacteria is so important, you guys, in the summertime. See, you're trillions of microorganisms, and they all abide in you and all around you. And they account for 70 to 80% of your immune system. And this will help you in the summertime if you have a lot of good bacteria, especially if you have issues like constipation, diarrhea, low immunity, adrenal fatigue, and even if you just want a better mood. These drinks can lift your spirit really quickly. I've seen this time and time again because they're loaded with compounds and B vitamins that really support your immune system. So if you have an afternoon slump where you feel tired, where a lot of times your body will get a little bit of adrenal fatigue, this is the drink for you. And kombucha does this too. They both do it. And one thing I thought was really interesting, did you know that bacteria help to regulate your body temperature? The stronger and healthier gut microbiome, the easier your body can regulate its temperatures and keep you in an inflammatory state at bay. So it will keep you cooler and help you to keep those inflammatory properties calm down in your body, because that's one of the things bacteria does, along with a million other things. So here are some of the bacteria and yeast in kefir soda. Like I said before, Bifidobacteria longum, which has, long time been regarded as one of the most beneficial members of the human gut microbiome. And lower levels of this beneficial bacteria have been shown in obese and diabetic individuals and those taking a lot of antibiotics. It also has been found you have lower levels if you've had IBS or inflammatory bowel disease. Also known, B. longum helps for things like anxiety, depression, and it also really inhibits inflammation in the body by regulating the immune system. It really is what activates your immune system. It's really the first bacteria you get when you're born from your mother. And it can improve your intestinal barrier function so you don't get leaky gut syndrome. It's fabulous. And that's one of the reasons we put it in this soda. Then we also have the Saccharomyces boulardii, which, it inhibits toxins from binding to the intestinal receptors keeps your gut and the walls of your gut lining healthy. And if there's pathogens down there, it will steal their metabolites or their food and they won't be able to survive because Aspergillosis will eat it all up. And then those pathogens will bind with Aspergillosis and pass out of the body in 2 to 5 days. So Aspergillosis is not a permanent resident in your body. It after you drink it for a couple of days, it makes a steady stream, but it does leave the body because it takes pathogens with it. And they found that things like E. coli, salmonella, typhi, and adhere to the surface lining of Aspergillosis. They attach themselves to it, and then they can't get to the mucosal lining of the gut. And while they're attached to Aspergillosis, when Aspergillosis leaves the body, they go with them. So it takes away the pathogens with them as you're drinking it. So I can't say enough about it. It's just fabulous. So another good bacteria that we have in the kefir soda is Lactobacillus debrueckii, which I'm not sure I said that right, but well, whatever. It can help break down food, absorb nutrients, and fight off bad organisms or pathogens that may cause disease. It does all this. It's really effective in helping with digestion. It prevents diarrhea and relieves symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. And it does that very, very effectively. One of the things that Aspergillosis and some of these bacteria do is to help people who are having acute diarrhea. It comes, and I've seen that personally with a family member who could not get rid of this. She was having antibiotic-associated diarrhea from being really sick. And she could not get over it until she started drinking it. It was kombucha that she drank, and it took care of it. So she just started drinking it every day because it was the only thing that was working, and she tried drugs and everything. So there's another good bacteria in it, and it's Menestrodes, which can inhibit the growth of pathogens and also prevent the avian flu and H1N1 flu. It prevents it. There's a lot of research that supports that. And I just love it. I love the different strains and what they do. I love that they make such a bubbly soda. It is just so much fun to make. In the summertime, because I have to say this, I got on Amazon somewhere, I got a keg to keep in my refrigerator that's like having it on tap. And I put it in there. If you want, I'll link that description below on the one I use. I fill that up with kefir soda, and it stays in the fridge, and everybody just pours it out like it's on tap at a store. I mean, it's just, it's one of our favorite things to do. I'm making some for 4th of July that's coming up. And I'm going to make I've got some different sodas we're going to make. I've got a cherry mango one, juice that I'm going to try to make, and we just drink it. It's so fun. And it's a delicious way to have, especially during holidays. But I will link that because I really do love it. You do need to get cartridges for it, but they last a very long time. And it keeps it, how it's very bubbly, but when you put it in this kind of a keg, it makes it kind of foam at the top. So we get a kick out of that. So that's why I have it, and I love it. It's not super big, but I think it's 64. I think it holds 64 ounces, maybe. No, I think it's over 100 ounces. I don't know. I'll have to put the link in there in case you're interested, because we sure do love it. And you don't have to do that. You can just keep it in bottles in your fridge, which we do too. But it is fun if you want to have it for a party. So I'm going to give you a bunch of recipes on here, all free recipes for a whole bunch of people for kefir soda and kombucha. But this month, for my Body Pro members, I have a summer drinks ebook, and we'll have a lot more recipes in there for my members. You'll also get the summer probiotic food book. And so we've got 2 books out now for members, and then we're going to have another one in August. I think we're going to do a probiotic dessert one, and I think we might have the low carb one coming out too. That's next month. So we're going to do a lot of ebooks for our members this summer, and this one is great because we have drinks like kefir soda, kombucha floats, grape ginger kefir soda, lemon lime, lemonade kefir soda, cranberry chai kombucha, raspberry mint kombucha, blueberry basil kombucha, lemon ginger kombucha. Those are all free for everybody, and I've got more on my website. So you don't have to be a member to get a lot of benefits because I've got tons and tons of recipes for everybody. But anyway, we have lots for our members too because I love my members. They're like my family. So I try to do a lot for them, and we're going to have more stuff coming up as soon as I get the time to do all of this. But there's a lot of new things that we're getting ready to do that I'm really excited about. So anyway, this is my probiotic summer drink podcast that I hope you'll enjoy. And if you don't want to make it, just go buy some kombucha. I like GT's Synergy kombucha. It's the one that's not pasteurized. A lot of them are getting pasteurized now because they overflow on store shelves, and he's figured out how to not do that. He's a purist at heart. He makes the best kombucha. I love his kombucha, and it's great, so you should try it. There's some kefir sodas out there that really aren't kefir sodas that you buy at the store. Just check the ingredients. A lot of them, well, I don't know. I stick with the kombucha if you're going to buy it at the store because I think they're better and have the most benefits. But if you want a super fast way to make a probiotic soda and you got to make a summer float, you should just, I love making kefir ice cream or yogurt ice cream and sticking it in a float. I think I'm going to do that for 4th of July. And that's something we all really, really love. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you're having a good summer. I hope you stay hydrated, stay cool, and give your microbes something to eat that help them grow and multiply to keep you cool. Because that's one of the things bacteria can do. So have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time.